Hello, and welcome back. This is going to be hot off the presses. You'll see. So I went to transportation, which is Garfield Heights, about a half hour from here. They had a big bin, and I'll post the video. I just got a short video of what they have there. And that's the extent of their media section. If they don't have one of the big pallet bins, then what you saw is not including that. The rest of the stuff on the shelves is a little more than what they usually have. Since I got 21 items from there, I skipped going to Cedar Road, which is typically on my route there, because then when I leave Cedar, I go down Cedar and jump on the highway, and then Mayfield is the next exit up. So I just went from transportation straight to Mayfield. I didn't get a lot of Mayfield, a couple enough for my stop, and then I went to Savers, and some very interesting items there at Savers. I didn't take anything out. The prices that I'm about to give on this bag, I'm just going to hand sort it, do my best to remember if there's any like really good stuff. But I know the Savers bag, there's going to be the hot off the presses stuff. So let's go. So at transportation, if you buy two or more disc media, they're $1 each. And I kind of started that when I spoke to the manager, Steve, a handful of months ago. There was a video of that. Not the conversation, but they had another big bin. So all their newer stuff that was out had this. And this is just like it came from a flea market or something along those lines. Right? So this is probably a $15 sealed. These I don't remember. I think this is closer to like 25. It's sealed. Closer to 35, 30, 35. I believe it has a... No, it does not have the insert in that, so it's right around probably $30. It's right around 20. This poison, but it has a slipcover. The other ones, at least one that I looked at, the one listing I did look at, did not have the slipcover. And it also has the insert that's in it. So that's probably 20, 25. Yeah, I don't remember, but probably $20. This one is like 12, 15. I think this is the conundrum one. I had to look it up. I believe that this exact copy is closer to 30. It's that. It's that. Old SNL, Saturday Night Live, 90s stuff. This is, I believe this one has the insert. It does. So this is like 25-ish. And this is maybe like 12. Right? So I'm paying $1. If it sells, even if it sells for 10, I'm still making after everything like $3. So why not? And it sells. I wouldn't do it otherwise if it took like 6 months to sell. All right. There might be a couple more DVDs. I don't see any more DVDs in there, so we'll get into these. This one is not a fast seller. The one, I think one did sell. So these ones were from Mayfield. So the $1.71. However, this one is an SBM, a super bit mapping. So I want to say super bit starts at 14 or 20 hertz, kilohertz. Whatever the speed is for, it's just a better one as opposed to the non-SBM. So probably $20, $30. Probably about 20. These ones are all sealed, and most of the other ones are sealed. 20. Closer to 35. 20. Surprisingly and oddly enough, this one's pretty cheap. It's a 2 disc. It's the songs of the band Yes. Um, Heard of the Sunrise. I'm not going to keep going trying to pull a song from Yes. But this is probably one. This one, and a lot of people will know this one. These two are purchased for the car. Right, so I put Blood Sugar, Sex Magic in this car CD player. I was like one out of all those Red Hot Chili Peppers ones, maybe two out of off that album that I really like. I like Yes, so I'll listen to this one a couple times and list it, and this will stay in the car for a while. And I also have like a 4 album CD set that has varying, like Division Bell, Momentary Lapse, things like that are in like maybe 4 albums in a lot on eBay. It's like $40. So when I'm done with this one sells for like $10, $12. And this one here listed it's like $10, 8 to 10. Bill Withers, don't remember, probably close to 20. 2 of these, which are 20. This is probably closer to 30, if not more. It is the tape up here has not been broken. It does not have cellophane, and it doesn't look like the disc has been taken out. So this would be a like new, and this is probably closer to 40, 20-ish. Like again, a lot of this stuff is just bread and butter. I don't remember, probably 20. Like 25, maybe closer to 30. I'm not remembering these because these are at the first stops. And this Beardy at the Met or the Metropolitan Museum of Art, Metropolitan Opera. So this is a 20-disc set, used, I think listed new, they're like $60. Used, I'll be able to get like 50. And I paid $1 for this. All right, that bag's done. We'll set those down for now. All right, so here comes the very, very interesting finds. I'm trying to make this video quick. It's like 6:30 now. Hungry. It still got to 90 degrees, but there was a haze overcast, so it wasn't straight sun blast. It was still warm, wasn't sweating, but I want to get this done. The Sword and the Sorcerer DVD with the insert. I can push probably 40 for this. This is Indiana Jones Chronicles. I want to say the soundtrack, or I want to say just looking at it. It's the soundtrack, Volume 1. Volume 2 does sell. Volume 1, not so much, but Volume 1 sells for like $40. The Best of Bish. I want to say this is maybe like $20. All this better stuff, and I don't know where to start. All right. We can start with this. So I do sell VHS, very select. It's like books, I'm more select. VHS are going to have a certain criteria in order for me to even buy them. I'm not going to just get a massive collection of VHS. They take up at least twice as much width space, and they sell 1/5 of as fast of what DVDs do. And there's really not any place to get rid of excess ones. And like CDs, it's difficult to get them in a lot and sell them the right way unless you have a bunch of stuff in the same genre. However, Little Einsteins, Wiggles, Barney, Clifford. What other ones am I thinking of here? Let's see, JJ, the jet plane, Thomas. Those are different ones. JJ, Thomas. There's a couple other ones that are the typical kids VHS that I will scan pretty much regardless, because if it has a barcode, it's 5 seconds to scan it. Now, keep in mind, VHS isn't made anymore. Little Einstein's was a very, very limited run show. It still runs now. Like it, back when I did sell toys years ago, like that probably 14, 15-inch spaceship, or even just like the little computer for that spaceship is like 40, 50 bucks. Or a replacement door, right? So that, but I just got tired of shipping out that bulky stuff. And I can get more value in media much more on a daily or whenever I go out than if I were to just deal with toys. And I'm not taking away from anyone who deals in toys, who deals in clothes, anything that you're buying and that does sell and it keeps it out of the landfill, all the more better. And you're helping the micro economy. So I scanned this, and I believe the lowest price just via scan listed was like 75 bucks. It sold, and a couple have sold for a minimum of 50 bucks. There may be more than just a couple. And that's just on scan. So it could be 30, 40 if I type it up. It could be those are two lowest ones. It could be a bunch, right? But for the dollar I paid. The $50 plus VHS. Box, not really the best. The cassette case, and then the ribbon, the tape, are all at least very good. I'm getting some weird reflections off of it. So at least 50 bucks, if not more. So if you're passing up VHS, at least take a stop and look at the kids' stuff. Because of all the other VHS that are going to be down there, if you don't take the time to really look, if you're trying to find a 1980s horror, definitely look at any horror. I rarely find horror. Some sci-fi, just even some more like weird, especially like think of a good euphemism. Scantly, men's interest, R plus rated erotica, things like that. Even like David Lynch, that type of Twin Peaks, that kind of stuff. If you're not going to look for all those other oddball things that can come up, or like that one, the Change, that one with Haggerty in it, that's 75. There was like 15 views I've had on that in a couple days. At least look at the kids' stuff. All right, enough about that. I don't deal. I was looking to find my fifth book because that savers your fifth book is free. So I was trying to find my fifth book. I already have 4, and we're going to get down to the first 3 that I got. That's the hot off the presses one. Once. So the media guy, he doesn't cater to me. He caters, many other people. But he's a real nice guy. He kind of heads me in the right direction out sometimes when I'm there. This is let me pull it up here. American Slovak. I'm trying to read this backwards, right? Club. It does have some use and some wear. Our favorite recipes. Again, the national headquarters for the Slavic American Club organization is up here in Cleveland. So it really doesn't matter which stores I go to. I do find a lot of Slavic cookbooks. The Slavic Anniversary cookbook I've mentioned before, and I sold one. Actually, I got one, and then it sold for 45 bucks like a couple days later. Those ones can't sell well. This is a spiral one. And there were like 4 or 5 other cookbooks that were all Slavic based. They were all right around 20, 25 bucks. But this is the zinger. This one comes up, you type it up, whatever this is, you look for this exact design. Listed, there were 60 to 70 bucks. I think there's 1 or 2 listed. It's sold, and they're anywhere from 40 to 60 bucks. Maybe a little more, right? So again, I'm trying to remember exactly. It's now been a couple hours since I looked it up. It was enough for me to grab it, for sure. Some of these books I did pay up for. But if it sells for 40, that's still 1 to 10 ratio. And I didn't have a coupon or a digital one. Damn it. I could have saved another $6. All right. This, unfortunately, is a different print of Foundation by Isaac Asimov. The printings of this title and author in a true first edition, 700 to 1,400 bucks easily. Check Terror Peak. Easily. This one, although it is an ex-library, I don't look on the back. Yeah, it has the back card bookplate. This is still probably 50 to 150. I saw one through Terror Peak that was like 130 bucks. And since I saw that there was at least one, then I scrolled a little more down. I saw this exact cover, and I'm like, all right, well, it's going to be that then. So for the $4 I paid for this one, it's still above that 1 to 10. Could easily be 100 bucks, maybe a little less. This is why I type stuff up and really look at other listings. Media can be tricky that way. Physical media, especially books, can be real tricky. But if there's not a lot of listings of them and somebody really, really wants this rendition, it's not. It'll be listed very good, and I'll have in the description box below very good, but better than good, right? So I'll just tentatively say 100 bucks. So if there's any audio files, if you are, you know what that means. If you're not, that means that someone who has taken a liking or is proficient, knowledgeable in audio equipment. More specifically, vintage audio equipment now, believe it or not, is starting in the late 90s. So AWA, JVC, kind of that stuff. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking Crown, Carver, Dodd, even Yamaha, Harman Kardon, old walnut cases, Kenwood with walnut cases, Marantz, Macintosh. And anyone who's an audiophile was probably thinking, those are some really good brands, but you're missing probably the epitome of the best of brand. Well, there's probably a couple more. But the more commonly known is Nakamichi. 4 years ago, I doubt I can find it in Terror Peak anymore. If I can, that'd be awesome. I think I mentioned it before. Sold a Nakamichi Dragon cassette player that I found up here at the Sabres, the same place where I found this Nakamichi. I want to say it was like 12 bucks, 14 bucks. And I sold it as parts not working because the places that I called around here would not service it. They did not want to open it up and service it. So I could either take a chance with that then and list it for $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 used. Yeah, go on, look it up. Or sell it for $2,000, parts not working, and just make a big description in it. So Nakamichi Dragon is like the buttons for the space shuttle, not the look of it. There's just buttons and dials. I'll post a picture. So I found this today, $2. Found this today. So this is a Nakamichi reference tape. So what a reference tape is think of it like a line level. So when testing audio equipment, it's typically 2,000 hertz. And then it's going to be 20,000. So if you're making crossovers, you're going to have line levels in there. And you're going to need those line levels. I'm getting real technical and things now. But you're going to need those line levels, especially for your crossovers, which are going to use things called Linkowitz-Riley factors. and those are tiers for decibel breaking points, or tier. I forget exactly what they're called. A drop off or fall off, and a growth. So each breaking point is going to be a certain amount of decibels lower, and then volume lower and hertz lower or more. So those are Linkwitz Riley. So you need to know those, but you need to have a reference tape. And throughout the reference tape, when you're playing it, is going to give you different line source sounds. That's reference tape. Now, Nakamichi, the dragon, is probably the pinnacle, the epitome, the poster child of all cassette players that any audiophile would want. Macintosh may have a really, really good one, but for within reach of most people, yeah, it's going to be that Nakamichi. And still used are going to be 3,000 to 7,000 on eBay. So this is sealed. This one has for like 120 bucks. This really isn't hot off the presses, but it just kind of goes to show that this is the oddball stuff that's around that I find. Will I find this again? It'll be years. All right, next items. All right, these are some bulky books, well combined. So first thing I look at, I'm going there. Where am I at time-wise? 20 minutes. So I go to the end cap VHS, end cap old books, then to the DVDs, end cap CDs, shelves, end cap, and then I turn the corner and start looking at books. So these were the very first books that I saw that were not vertical, right? They're horizontal on the shelves. This one, USS Midway, very interesting. I never even opened it up. So it looks like it might, I don't know. It's a cruise. It says Far East Cruise. I'm not, with 20 minutes in this video, I'm not going to go too crazy on this. This, if I remember right, this one is maybe closer to, well, that one and this one. Both of them are probably closer to 100 bucks, if I remember right. One might be a little less, one might be a little more. Either way, there's 200 right here. Now, I did pay up for these, $7 within that 1 to 10 after fees, shipping, and all that. I'm not going to do 10 of that here, right? Then, USS Midway Westpac, 1961, CVA 41. Don't ask. I don't know. So, that was fun. All right. Let me get something to drink, eat some food. I don't know what I'm going to do now. It's a little later in the day. I really don't like doing re-lists and stuff right now. I can if I want to, but it's warm in here. Anyhow, where we go. Like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned. Tell me going up, comment down below. Sub, share. Those are free. Take a second. Help me help you. Appreciate it. Thank you.